'Was the night before Xmas, all through the server, but a player was coping, not even the losers. Teams were stacked without any care, in hopes that TDs would soon be theirs. The noobs all nestled in spec, while dreams of esports danced in their head. And Jennifer with her guide, and I and my cups had just settled in for a long winter's dodge. When out in the Discord arose such a drama, I pulled out my phone to see who's the cause. Notifications appeared for those who signed up. We need one more for fours, came the cry of the pings. I knew in a moment it must be Saint Kick. More rapid than tweakers, his calls they did come. Need Demore, need Frenock, need Small Island and Duck. On Dexter, on Kidde, on General X and Blitz, who's too high. To the Matchmode server, to the USA side. Now ready up, ready up, ready up all. As players joined before the wild nukes fly, they met with a plan. Droppers take sky. So into the town, both teams piled in, with trucks full of inf and heavy tanks too. Then in the VC, I see him arrive. In came Saint Kick with hardly a sound. He was already mad and asked for TA. He wanted Light Arty to blow snipers away. He was dropping paras late and on buildings, of course. I laughed when I heard, in spite of his copes. He spoke not a word and went straight back to work, exploiting and pushing, making the plays, until the Dom bar started moving his way. He yelled at his team, but he gave me a nod. I heard him explain as he raged with all might. Merry Xmas to all, and to all a good night. What up, everybody? It's Planter here. Did a little bit of a Xmas poem, calling that the Tale of Saint Kick. And we've got a special game today. It is an Xmas game played on Christmas Eve, so on the 24th of December, 2023. And I've been waiting for a good game on Xmas, basically since last year. I think I got one good replay from Elian, which I did this year on Xmas. It was from the USA side. And this time, we've got a 4v4 match mode. It's going to be spec'd by Studerball. He provided this replay, and it's on Xmas, and it's a very good game. Like, I'm actually excited to show you guys this game. It's a very good. It's very rare that you get a close one. Even the ones I've done haven't been too close. It's nice that it's a 4v4. So, and right off the bat, some interesting things are happening. We've got the sneaky air bang from Russian tank, special military operation from Spirit Gun for a quick cap up here, and pretty fail dive by XX, or this tank guy, this tank 55. I don't know. I can't keep track of all these tank smurfs. And there we go. Quick cap, not waiting for the infantry. This is kind of the sacrifice of using the choppers. Like, Spirit Gun could not get involved in money caps. Basically, he got involved in 2, I think. He got over here. And yeah, I think Russian tank is Peru. I just don't know. But what we're seeing here is the classic USA push into town and kind of a late on the flank. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I think both teams are equal. I don't know some of the Smurfs I'm not aware of, but they all seem pretty the skills are matchup is pretty decent. I think Dexter may edge out Spirit Gun. But we've got Blitz on armor, and he is beyond baked, as is per usual. And just an excellent heavy arty. This Diesel guy, I don't know who that is either. Fantastic heavy arty here. Just absolutely smashes them. And what I like, and I just want to comment on this, and I want to talk about this for all the map makers out here. What I like about the Xmas town fight, and people can talk about this, maybe the infantry players can weigh in, but I really like this town fight because the buildings are so vulnerable, and so you really do, it's kind of like a flash in the pan fight. Like, a couple arties already destroyed a lot of the buildings. There's just enough woods that you have something to play around in, but it's not a lot of woods where, you just can't handle inf in the woods. And I think the suburb battle is something that hasn't been utilized a lot. Like there's so many suburbs in America, and yet in all the maps that you have, the suburbs aren't a prominent part. Like there's a bit of suburbs in Seaside, but they're kind of in the USA spawn, so you never fight in them. Like this is the biggest kind of suburban fight. Like imagine a map where you have an area maybe this big and it's all suburbs and a little bit of woods, and then there's none of this river bullshit. It's just kind of open grounds around the suburbs. I think that would be a very interesting fight. You could do these cul-de-sacs. You have a density of buildings, but it's not like annoying amounts of buildings where the infinite is just like impossible to destroy. Like I did play with the Strelka's map, like the one that he worked a long time on, and I'll just say there's too many buildings in that. Like there's so many buildings that it broke the map in itself. Like it's too laggy to play. Like my frame rate was terrible. So on that map, but beyond that, there's just like a billion full-sized, full health buildings that are just impossible to kill, and you're gonna have to use a lot of gas, like Syrian levels of gas is basically the only way you could deal with infantry on a map like that. But in a map like this, you'll see there's so many other ways you can deal with infantry. Infantry can kill, napalm. Direct arty will pop one of these in a second. A dedicated tank player will kill it in a second, and here we go. Let's see, can Russian tank punish Wally? That's great. Oh! Wally gets the revenge. Very nice. Very nice. So there's ways that you can deal with infantry in these situations that I think a full suburban infight would be interesting in a map. So map makers, if you're thinking about that, what do you think? Do a big giant suburbs fight for everybody. In the meantime, USSR is doing the classic, it's winning. So what we see a lot of is both teams will ignore this side, especially in a 4v4. You just don't have enough units, especially if the USA is going to be pushing hard here. And I like this. Like, USA has not stopped attacking the town, and that's good. Like, you kind of have to have a forward position, get the spread out, keep it spread out. They learned their lesson after getting hammered that first go-arounds. Like, never blob into here, even in the first minute. Like, it's too risky. And in the meantime, just look, direct arty is on the points. Just combined arms fight for the flank. And you really need this as USA, and then USSR also really needs it. And, oh, Kid A with the air-to-air. She definitely knows her air-to-air business as an air player. Air players typically know, okay, an air player is going to commit here. And just notice good building poking, but also good defense of the buildings. Support needs to consider this. And look at this, really aggressive, decapping. I'm assuming there's going to be some TA on these points to clear them. But this is also what you need to do as USA. Yeah, here comes the TB. Somebody whiffed the TB and didn't fully kill stuff. Their TB also whiffed and didn't fully kill it, but heavy arty. So what I really liked about this game is that both teams are playing to the maximum. Like, they are really, and this is why we don't want the noobs in all the match modes, because both teams are firing on all cylinders. They're really trying to use every advantage to get an edge. And like, things like this game is determined by the angle of a TB, right? Both guys are trying to do the perfect TBs, or get it cracking off the right missile to weaken up an AA to give the air a chance. And also, USA knows, okay, it's not good for us to poke and decap something. That's a very risky play, but we need to, because if we don't decap this, we're gonna get bled out and lose immediately, or lose in like 5 minutes. And here comes Diesel with the correct play, just spamming lights. That's all you got to do, that to take the town back, spamming lights. Although lots of activities over here, an interesting blob of armored transports from Spirit Gun, because I guess what do you do when you have all this combined arms up here? And man, excellent split air from Tank 55. I do think Tank 55. Oh, man, like I don't know. Like one of these guys is Peru. They both play kind of similar to Peru. Like good split off, but keeping here with the majority of the units. There's a random air to air too. I guess. What did Wally expect? Or maybe that was a USA one. But nice cap from Spirit Gun. But notice here in the natural state, if this is decapped, even if USSR holds this, and we're assuming USA is going to hold this, but that is typical. You know, the game is neutral. Because what a lot of times that happens is if USA lets USSR hold this and uncontested, and this is great. See, this is great stuff. An air player should do this. I was like, yeah, I got nothing else better to do. I'm just going to blow up these houses, but excellent reaction time from actually you have to keep an eye on these houses. Like they just do not survive very, flimsy American construction. These are like clapboard houses. Oh, that actually looks like stucco. These all stuck. Oh, see, there's some clapboard. These things are not designed to handle getting pumped full of missiles. But here we go, massive cap. While I was talking about architecture. Oh no. See, look. That was almost a massive cap, but Tank 55 with a massive save. Like they had both of these captured, but he dived right here, clearing it, preventing a massive cap. And in the meantime, they're trying to clear up Spirit Gun. Like Spirit Gun's doing an excellent job, but I think Spirit Gun has overcommitted. Like, look, there's no infantry from the USSR side in town. Not a single, not even a mouse. And compared to up here, these are all Spirit Guns, eh? Yeah, so he's really overcommitted up here to the detriment of the town position. Like, even getting a sniper in here, like, definitely a sniper over here to keep folks honest. And, you do need a few shitheads in town at all times. But this Tank 55 guy is just destroying everything in town. And that's what you got to do in a 4v4. You know that the support player is going to be stretched pretty thin, especially on this map. You have to be that angel of death, just killing everything. Here we go. That looks like a USSR air-to-air that whiffed. And in the meantime, yeah, Russian tank is like, oh, I'm going to destroy everything in town too. Oh, why not? And finally, okay, Spirit Gun's got the shit here. This is the problem when you get a lot of APCs. Like, that's 2,000 points of reinforcements right there. That's a lot of units to use for APCs. And in the meantime, USA has managed to cap that. And yeah, and they've got they finally got the lead. Again, the rat tactics, focusing on the flanks, kind of ignoring town, but here comes a big push in the town. Oh yeah, and watch this. Dex. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. Although the APC survived, it's so dangerous to go chasing after dudes in the woods, and finally we've got a little bit of a change in strategy from USSR. They are going to go for arm now instead of the suburbs, whatever the hell this is. I think this is the suburbs, and just immediately gets cleaned up by the air. Yeah, Russian tanks having a great game. Lots of ranked up choppers, and against Wally too. Like, that's really rare. I don't know if it's because the armor is a little sloppy this game, or he's just having a really good one, or just super skilled. We'll see. But yeah, the air, and also this map is just very favorable for air players. Watch, he's gonna pop this building. Boom. So easy. Air players on this map always pop any infantry you see. It's a gift to your teammates, especially to the infantry player, because infantry doesn't really have a lot of options other than in direct arties, and you usually don't want to burn your direct arties popping a building. Like, you want to save that to kill their direct or to kill their paras. And here we go, desperate fight over here. Wally's coming in to see off the air. I know the air player is definitely thinking, like, is there going to be an air-to-air coming? Here comes a massive Tabi from Kid A. That's a like she sees, okay, they're going to try to cap this. I'm just going to kill that heavy tank really fast. And here comes the air onto Wally. Wally's got 2 AAs. Critical. Snipes the scout immediately. And there's the ever constant threat of air-to-airs. But USA has got a little bit of a comeback because they're keeping this decapped. They're keeping this decapped. And again, USSR can't be everywhere at once. But they're finally going to get a cap here. See, again, why you want the shitheads in the town? You want to be involved in caps. And they get a nice bleed on them. Here comes another push from Blitz. Rare to see the rare Blitz armor. I mean, I think he usually he can play every role. Just pop there. We're like, was that a scan or did he just laid on the smoke? It's annoying being the spectator because you can't see the TAs used, so it's always a guessing game. Interesting light tank drop. I like that tank. Like, see, these guys don't drop light tanks into this kind of inferno of death. You know, drop them in the back. Still like to have them, but nice decap from Dexter. Dexter with the mechanized infantry right here. Like, this is, you love to see this. And a massive cap. Kid A and Dex are just a dream team. You know, they can read each other's thoughts. They've played together for so long. This is great because Dex doesn't really use comms. But Kid A is very vocal on the comms, and there looks like another air-to-air from Wally trying to catch Russian tank, but luckily Russian tank did a little loop around there. But just notice, you know, it's so hard for USA. Like, Diesel's got these heavies set up. Like, that's a sick spot for a heavy, everybody, from USA. Like, USA can maybe put one here, but USSR, this is a monster spot. And you can tuck an AA in these woods to cover that tank. And if an air ever comes to kill that tank, you just pull it back and hide in the edge of the woods. And let's see here. So USA is on the back foot. They haven't been able to get anything good going here. That looks like another air-to-air. But USA, what their plan is, stretch out the USSR team and to fuck them around in the back. And I think that's also a good option. The back is easy to respond to, but also it just pulls stuff away. It pulls attention. Like, now look, the air has to come here and deal with this. And it's screwing up the Jeeps. And in the meantime, the air isn't killing everything over here. And Spear Gun, wow, that's a lot of APC spam. Jeez. That's like his whole force is in APCs, and they're gonna actually, they'll be able to, like, that's enough APCs, like, they can chunk Chopper away. So that's kind of a smart move. That's like that's a gold strategy if I've ever seen one right there. Gold or Peruse Rat. And then in the meantime, another push from USA over here. And okay, this is why APCs, so this is the correct, like, what we saw here from Russian Tank is the correct approach to dealing with APCs. You threaten them. You make them pop smoke, and then you pull back, and when the smoke disperses, just try to pop as many as you can. Always go in when you have the AT missiles, because you want to pop them very fast. And if you can kill like one or two in the blob with an AT missile, then the rest can be easily killed. And you want to only fire your missiles when you have high accuracy. So like when the little
3 minutes.
When the little thing that you do see when you hover over, when it's green, when you get like an 80% accuracy, you know it'll work. And then look at this. Blitz is just chasing around Wally with the light tanks, and he killed 2 AA here, the light tanks. So now we got 2 minutes left. USA is still down bad. And notice no nukes. You don't need a nuke on this map. But what they've done, they've been dropping really hard. They've had this massive combined effort. Like, Dex has just dumped a lot of units up here. Blitz has dumped a lot of units. You got 2 AA. You got Dex has drops. And ATs. He's even got a medium chopper. This is fully secured now. Like, there's no hope for USA or USSR to get them. And there's no hope. Like, they could probably push this, but it's easily dealt with. And Spirit Gun has had to put all his units back here, or at least most of them. And now we can do a push. And look, again, Blitz is dropping heavy arties. Somebody's dropping. Okay, Russian tanks dropping heavy. Devastating. Love to see heavy arties to clear a point. We've got more light tanks being dropped again, and not dropping them forward where they can get killed easily, and a decap. And then we have a monster tick for USA. So what we've seen is a path to victory for USA. And look at this. Finally Blitz is getting a cap. I think this is like the first cap from USA. Monster cap. Not waiting for Kid A. Sorry, too slow. And Spirit Gun is fruitlessly, like, Spirit Gun must not realize the situation up here, that there's, like, a whole army. Like, that's so much stuff up here. And they get the cap of town. It's not looking good for the USSR team. They're probably going to get a heavy. Already dropped right there. And there's more drops harassing them back here. Just
1 minute remaining.
Let's see if the direct already hits these Gs. That would be so sad. Oh no, it's going to be even worse. Clusters. 3 clusters and the 4. That's a Christmas miracle right there. But they need every tick because they've been down so low. And what USSR needs to do is just decap. Just decap this and you could probably still win. They managed to secure this. More TBs coming in. Oh, the whiff. Oh, but it works. Can Dex get the... It looks like drops. Tank drops. Okay. And Diesel's trying to decap, but the blob of lights is preventing it. Don't get off. Get closer, bro. Get closer. Oh, he's dodging the TB. Clutch TB. Total dom. Total dom for USA. Even with the decap, it doesn't matter. They push it over with 10 seconds left. That's a Christmas miracle on Xmas. We'll see. Has any Christmas tree survived? Yeah, there's a Christmas tree. These Christmas trees always tend to survive. And we hear the oh my god from Peanut Gallery. And there we go. 45 to 54. USSR really had... That was their game to lose. But all it took was a massive push up here. Just a massive team effort to take this. And then a very weak center. And in a 4v4, it's always trade-offs. You know, if you do one thing, you're going to be weak somewhere else. And USA can afford to be weak in the middle and really overcommit on the sides and then decide to push the middle. So that is the advantage. And really, it's on USSR to keep USA on their toes so they can't push the middle. But of course, if you do that, then you're going to be weak in the middle and you can get pushed. So always a knife edge on this one. It's not as imbalanced as sometimes we cope. But yeah, there's a good one. Good game on Xmas. Congratulations to everybody who played during the holidays. And yeah, take it easy, guys.